So if you know what our program looked like in our office introduction last week from the slide, so our program focused on two areas, mostly in this subject of fuel cycle. The one is aqueous and vapor phase separation that's managed under Bill DeCool, Dr. Bill DeCool. And then the second area is called the pyroprocessing or molten salt processing. That is managed by Jim Willett. I didn't prepare any slides here today, so I wasn't sure the Q&A format. So if you want to go through that slide I presented a couple weeks ago or last week, so there are some kind of description of what we are working on in this area. Yeah, I think this is good. So okay. Go to the third slide. Yes, here. This is the most our program covered called material recovery and wasteform development. But our wasteform is considered new material, developing new material. So we fall that specific topic under a different topical area under innovative materials program. But for this topical area, we focus on advanced aqueous processing, vapor phase separation, pyroprocessing, molten salt separation. The top three bullets under the lower part of this presentation. So go to the next slide so it can give you some more, probably the following two slides. Do we have more slides there? Yeah, not this one. Okay, the one afterwards. Another one. There's anything new there? Yeah, here. Okay, topical 3. So Bill DeCool and Jim Willett will be our program manager in this area. So we developed advanced fuel recycling technology for irradiated fuels. We're also addressing fundamental material separation and recovery challenge that present significant degree of technical risk and financial uncertainties for industry to invest. So we are supporting more fundamental research as well. So this is the area 3, I'm sorry, for this solicitation. Any questions?
Thanks, Dr. Kung. Any questions can be put in the chat, or you can go ahead and raise your hand and unmute yourself to speak.
Feel free to contact us through, but copy Drew. So in this case, we know what are going on there, or the program office. So if you have a technical question, just feel free to contact Bill DeCool or Jim Willett, specifically on the topical area you are interested in. So this is very broad, and then just copy Drew so we know what's going on there.
So in the chat, Pam has put neup@inl.gov. That's a great email to throw any questions at. And if you send any questions to that email, we will contact the correct program manager.
Okay, good. All right.
And then once those are answered, we will also post those questions on neup.gov. Okay, looks like you have a question come in. It says, will this area be interested in TRISO fuel particle separation and recycling?
I would say yes, if you have an innovative idea, but keep in mind, we are looking into innovative new ideas. If you just regurgitate the old TRISO fuel recycling process, that may not be ranking high in our list here. We are looking into all the fundamental. If you have an aqueous process or pyroprocessing you want to use for TRISO, we work on that.
And Stephen, that would include the kernels as well as the graphite.
Yes, Bill.
Sort of two nuts to crack. One is recycle of the graphite, because we'd rather not dispose of that as waste. And then secondly, the material inside the kernels.
Exactly. Thank you, Jim. I didn't know you are there. My computer screen is very slow here, so I can see.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, good. So that's a very good point. So our overall objective is trying to recycle as much as possible, to recycle and reuse as much. So in this case, we can reduce the burden of repository, the waste material, the volume of high-level waste.
Great. Okay, we have another question. It says, if proposing an idea on the fuel technology, but it will greatly benefit the fuel cycle, should it be sent in TA3 or TA4 scope?
TA4 is fuel.
Yeah. If this is a reuse part, how to reuse the recycled material, go to the fuel part. If it's just a separation, that's us. TA3. I would put that way. Jim, is that okay?
Yeah, it's hard to tell just with that little bit of information. You know, if it's if it's fuel fabrication or particularly fuel fabrication, that's definitely 4. If it's spent fuel, used fuel recycle, that could fall under 3 if it's focusing on separations chemistry, things like that. If it's more mechanical engineering, you know, disassembly of fuel or things like that, that would probably.
But anyway, let me weigh in here. If you have a good idea, submit to us. We will decide how to bucket it, how to input into the right topical area. If you are not sure, just put into to us. We'll take care of that.
Yeah, there have been proposals that we have, upon reading them, we've said, no, this fits better under another category. And we talked to the PI, and if they agree, we make the switch.
Maybe the program can help us. We can always change topical area later on if we find a better match alignment. Drew, is that correct? Oh, CC.
Yeah.
CC,
Stephen, I'm here. Yeah, you're correct in that we can make those adjustments if we need to. So
yeah, good.
Yeah, I don't think folks should stress too much out about that.
Yeah, same here. That's my feeling too. Yeah. But thank you for the question. Good.
We have a couple more.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Cece.
Okay. Next question is, for vapor separation using fluorination or chlorination, there will be halide salt waste left over. Any interest to separation and handle the salt waste after separation?
Sure, if that's part of the separation, right? Bill, you are muted, so go ahead.
Yes, the process have to consider all primary and secondary waste, and we all need to minimize the total amount of both geological waste, low-level waste, intermediate waste. So yes, the answer is yes. We need to consider those.
Yeah, the process of separation is our topic 3 here. If you're developing different waste form, that will be in a different topical area. Just for as a reminder.
Awesome. We have another one in the chat.
Some of the materials produced might actually be able to be recycled too, depending on the.
Yeah. Not always conventional waste is waste now. So if any radioisotope or any isotope considered valuable, we will consider recycle that as well.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. So next question says, for TA3 and TA4 scopes, would purely modeling and simulation work be considered? How would the efforts be properly balanced between experimental and computational work in these scopes?
Let me start at Bill and Jim, so you guys can weigh in, add more. Okay. My view here is, if computer modeling and simulation for separation, if you want to do that just for separation, fuel recycling separation part, you are welcome to submit into topical 3. Of course, there's a modeling and computation separate topical area. That's more kind of a more generic code development in that case, not for our specific application. If your development is for our specific application, you're welcome to submit to us. Bill and Jim, please weigh in.
No, I agree.
Yeah, and I would encourage you to take a look at past NEOPs. There have been quite a few in the molten salt area on modeling the structure and the chemistry of molten salts. So you don't want something that is already been done. We want to build on what we've got. So take a good look at what has been done, both in NEAP space as well as even SBIR.
Yeah, that's a good point. Just looking to the previous NEAP calls awards there to see what they have been doing there, what they have been completed over the previous years, and then build on whatever they built. But there are a couple workshop reports. If you have new idea following those workshop reports, please submit a new proposal. We welcome that. We encourage you to do that. Thank you for joining us today. Please submit proposal. We need your support. We encourage you to submit proposal. We understand recycling is a top area for proposal for universities, but don't give up on us.
Thank you guys so much for being here. Oh, looks like one has come in the chat. Is there any preference, excuse me, is there any preference for proposals budgeting up to the ceiling of $1 million? We are interested in smaller proposal like 300,000, but seems like most past awards budget up to the ceiling amount.
Absolutely. That's a good. Thank you for this excellent question. We have some internal discussion as well. So not necessarily for 1 million. You are welcome to have smaller project, 400K. If you think that's enough, propose 400K with commensurable work scope. Then we welcome that, and then they will give us more topical area. In my opinion, if this is a new project, if this is a new concept, please submit new ideas. You don't need to have a big budget for that. Just exploratory for 2-3 years, and then we can just continue in, say, for example, 2 years, 200K a year, 3 years, or 600K. Feel free to do that. I think the $1 million is the ceiling. You are welcome to submit.
And usually those projects are multi-institution. They're the scope of the tasks is broader, and the number of players involved is larger. If it's a smaller, more focused scope, yeah. Don't pat it to get to $1 million.
and I can just, this is Drew Thomas. I can just add that from a review standpoint, all applications are going to be evaluated on the same criteria for technical merit. And so there really is no right answer when it comes to the ceiling or a smaller project. We've seen both types of projects funded, and it's based on technical merit, not necessarily on the level of funding that you're looking to get. So something that's targeted, focused, can really have a compelling technical case to make. Just like something that's big and multi-institutional. So I'd encourage both types of applications, not just in this scope, but just across the board.
And we do review the budget too, as part of the review process. So just a careful look over the budget.
Yeah, that's a good point. So thank you, Drew. This is very important. If you just propose something really not really worth 1 million, then you just hurt yourself, yeah, in my opinion.
An additional sort of vector for recycle would not just be taking material and directly putting it back into fuel, but possibly re-enriching if you're recovering uranium. So that's another thing that's changed with the U.S. standing up an enrichment capability to do that work.
Wait. Enrichment is not part of our program scope here. So just
no. I agree. Enrichment is not part of our program scope. But if you're, say, recovering uranium, and you're recovering it as a fluoride, that would make it amenable to.
Oh, okay. I see the end result and the product. Okay, I see.
When you look at what do you do with the product?
Okay. Yeah,
it could either be direct recycle into fuel, or it could be re-enrichment. Right, Bill?
I will add that we are looking at the overall recycling of materials, including cladding and hardware, not just the fuel, because in the end, all goes to geological disposal at a great cost. and we are trying to minimize the amount of geological waste and low-level waste in general, and to maximize the recovery and reuse. So don't put your scope only thinking in the fissile material. It's the totality of the fuel assembly that need to be subject to reuse and recycling.
Yeah, and another point I want to emphasize, I just remembered that Drew asked us a question early on. We are interested in advanced recycling technology. We are not particularly interested in conventional improvement of Purex, for example. For example, Purex separate plutonium is a separate stream. No matter how good you are, that's not our current emphasis. Don't bother to submit proposal in that area. How to improve Purex, that's not our priority. We are interested in advanced separation technology, whatever can better than Purex.
Great, thank you so much, everyone who answered that question. We have another one, says, can you elaborate a bit more on the focus of the NE office in contrast to the effort from ARPAE Curie program with significant efforts on chemical reprocessing separation of used fuels?
Technically, there's not much difference, in my opinion, because we are also, both of our ARPAE, Curie, and Onward are working on recycling area. ARPAE focus more on waste management or waste volume reduction for different purpose, but they also focus on process as well. But the difference with us is we support smaller project. ARPAE toward commercialization, so they must have a commercialization part in their view. For our program, we are developing the base load kind of all above kind of different separation technologies, and we are progress. We continue year in year out. Not like ARPAE, they are kind of a one shot. You have this call, you come into this call. We have a ARPAE NEAP call every year. Feel free to add more, Jim and Bill.
No, I agree. We are trying making an effort not to duplicate efforts with ARPAE, but ARPAE, as Stephen said, is toward commercialization in general, higher TRL, and also is limited in time. We are for the longer run and looking at new ideas, advanced ideas that maybe at a lower degree of TRL, maybe just conceptual ideas that need to be elaborated and demonstrated. And so we are in a complementary, and we are making effort to do so that, again, we don't fund twice on the same project.
And there are very likely some more sort of niche topics that RPE is going to look at. They sort of want a more global, I guess, less granular approach for what they're doing. They're trying to show broad scale feasibility, but there's other more focused activities as well.
Yeah,
that would be they're frankly more better suited to NEAP.
Great, thank you, everyone. As a reminder, if anyone has questions after this session has ended, please email neup@inl.gov. It has been posted in the chat. A transcription of all questions and answers will be posted on neup.gov, as well as the recordings of each of these sessions.
I just saw Ken Marston, our NTD, pop up. So Ken, you have anything you want to say?
I don't. No, I thought you guys did a fantastic job, and I don't have anything substantive to add.
All right, good. Thank you. Just introduce Ken. Ken is our NTD, National Technical Director.
All right, I'm going to hand it over to Drew to give us some closing comments.
All right, I'd just like to thank the Stephen's team across the board here for providing some questions and answers here. Just so everyone is aware, this is an opportunity to have a live question and answer. You are welcome to continue asking questions about the funding opportunity, their topic areas, through NEUP@INL.gov. Please send us a message. We'll work with the team here to get you an answer back, typically within 24 to 48 hours, to try to get you some clarifications if you need to understand, what current ongoing program activities are, or where you can get some help or some advice from National Lab folks, for example. So with that, I just want to remind everybody about upcoming deadlines. The pre-application due date for this area is June 26th. And we'll be running a full application process through the end of this calendar year. And so lots of potential activity coming up. If you have any questions about the process, about your eligibility, about anything like that, please reach out to someone here in the NEUP integration office, and we can help you run down those answers to your questions. Thanks everyone for attending, and we'll look forward to a lot of good proposals. All right. Thanks,
Thank you all.
Stephen.